It's Savannah again, and welcome back to Five Broadway Babies. This week's topic is about different theater experiences. So, speaking of which, if I'm kind of a hot mess right now, I just came back from dress rehearsal for my school's production of Sound of Music. And it's crazy. We just started working with mics, so they're like screaming in our ears today, and we didn't do a mic check when we first started. So they were like crackling and everything. We had to stop in the middle of Do Re Mi, and they said, "Okay, wait, we gotta do a mic check. We can't do this anymore." I was like, "Ah!" So it was quite crazy today, but I'm alive. I'm home, and gotta do some homework soon. But so for this week's topic of theater experiences, what I want to focus on is Status Update, the production I was in New York City in February. Because I think it's really good, especially since all of us doing Five Broadway Babies, we're all teenagers, so we're all growing up in this crazy technological-ish age, which is all that Status Update was about, really. It was about growing up and being a teenager now, where we have things like Facebook, Formspring, Twitter, all these different things that kind of add or detract from our social experience as teenagers. So I think what was really interesting about Status Update was to be a part of the creative process of it and to have a say in what happens in the script. Because usually you're handed a script, okay, you learn your part, you do it, fine. But with Status Update, since the cast was part of how the plot happened and the scripting itself, we got a say in what happened. So I think that was really interesting, and the characters kind of came about. It wasn't really set, like, our director, who was awesome, I love him, he didn't say, like, okay, you're playing this character, this is your name, this is who he or she is, this is what they do, all that stuff. It kind of came about. He had us all walk around the room embodying different ideals, perfect, things like fire, wind, even animals walking around like a cat, and just these crazy things, and leading with specific body parts, like lead with your forehead, lead with your chest, things like that. And then we all stood in a line, and he just went down the line and said, okay, what's your name? Who are you? What do you do? And all these characters just sort of happened, which was really cool. And then we all were together and figured out how they knew each other and how they related to each other. So once we had this, then we had all the relations and all the things like that, and we each came up with different ideas of how this script was going to happen, and it all flowed together, which was really cool. So there's all these subplots going on in Status Update. So pretty much, I think one of the major appeals to it is that, high school is something that you either remember, you're surviving right now, hopefully surviving, or looking forward to going through. So within Status Update, there's 14 characters, and you can pretty much find some aspect of yourself in at least one of them. Usually you're a mixture, maybe like, oh, I'm a little bit of Tucker and some of Patty, so things like that, and different aspects of yourself are being portrayed on stage. So all the different plots, there's mine that I was involved with was, totally popular girl falls for the wrong guy, kind of. He's very political, kind of nerdy, but really into the whole, like, government scene and all that stuff. And all she cares about is what she's wearing and what her friends and teachers think of her, things like that. And they fall for each other, and they kiss, and someone takes a picture of it and is thinking of destroying their lives by showing it to everyone. So that's what my character was dealing with. And there's the one kid that's tormented for being gay when he's not, and the bullies that try to make everyone think he's gay, and so he tries to go out with this girl, and this girl in turn is trying to go out with a guy so that my character will be friends with her, because go out with a guy, you're so cool. And then there's the cheerleading squad, the new girl trying out for the cheerleading team, and one doesn't want her on, the other one does. Then there's one of the cheerleaders has the online boyfriend, and it turns out she's never met him. there's the girl with the evil vlog. You know, it pretty much hits a lot of stereotypes. Oh, and there's the homeschool kid that just came to school and is learning all these weird social ways of, like, I guess, public high school kids. And so it's really, really interesting. And I don't want to tell you the ending, because in case, as we hope, that it goes further from, because we opened at Barrow Group Theater. And so hopefully if it does go further, I don't want to ruin the ending, because it's pretty cool. So within this, I think what was cool about this show was the rehearsal process, and being in New York City and performing there it was very interesting, and it was so much fun. And definitely late nights when you come home, you go into New York, you come home from school, you quick change. I know I wear a uniform to school, so there's no way I'm wearing that to like a rehearsal. So, quick change, get in the van and head over to New York. Luckily, I live in New Jersey. Our initial rehearsals were all in New Jersey, thank goodness. That would have been so much. But that last week of tech, all in New York City. And so we were there some nights until like midnight, and coming home, and you come to class the next day and you're like, oh, I'm so tired. But it was survivable. And it worked. And opening in New York City was worth it. It was really worth it. The theater was fantastic. It was the Barrow Group Theater. It was just a really nice space. Maybe I don't know if I can put pictures up on YouTube, but if I can, I will post pictures of the theater. It was very nice. All the people involved in the theater were nice. But it was a really, really great experience. And hopefully if Status Update becomes bigger, everyone can come see it, because I think that it's something that, since everyone can relate to it, it's really interesting. But now my video is 7 minutes long. Usually my videos, I'm one of the shortest running videos, but I could talk about Status Update all day, so maybe I'll do another video talking about a different aspect of it. But it was great. So advice, if you're working a show, sleep. And if you have to travel to rehearsals, sleep in the ride there, like on the van or whatever. It's so worth it, or else I wouldn't have gotten any sleep. So that's my advice for today. And breathe. Breathe. I know that sounds like a crazy thing, but when you think about it, I think it's something a lot of us forget to do, especially when we're on stage or getting ready to go on stage. So it's my advice that I'm going to close my 8-minute video with is breathe. Thanks. So I'll see you next week. Bye.